Happy Sunday. Come on in. Welcome to another Sunday of Unity of Sacramento News Live. I'm your host, Rev Kev, here with my main man, 100 grand, Brother Rev.
Hey.
We're celebrating Rev E's 4th anniversary here at the church. Put some hearts and thumbs up in the chat room. Happy anniversary, Brother Rev.
Thank you so much.
How does it feel to be 4?
Oh gosh, it feels great.
Yeah, you look like a brand new baby, just newborn. 4 years with us at Unity of Sacramento, going strong, giving of his heart, his soul, his mind, and his full dedication to service in our ministry. And I'm so grateful that you said yes. We did have to make you an offer you wouldn't refuse, but you took it on. And it took him about 11 years to get here, but the fact that you took your time and made a good decision, it was the best decision we could have made.
It was a wonderful decision for me and for my family. Thank you, Unity of Sacramento, for a great 4 years. May there be many, many more together.
May the 4 be with you. We also want to celebrate our Breathing Space Retreat graduates who stepped into their lives to join us in establishing the capacity to establish centered, soulful, and successful living and really deepen their meditation and journaling practice. And they did a magnificent job.
It was an amazing retreat. Just a wonderful 5 hours of digging in deep, repossessing our breaths, and learning the methods and techniques that are aligned in our book. And now we've got something to practice, and we have a community to practice with.
It's awesome.
It's
and from all over the country. We're so happy to welcome people from different parts of the country, Tennessee and LA and here in California and
Atlanta.
It was wonderful. And so congratulations to all of our Breathing Space Retreat graduates. We will see you in our Facebook online chat room and see how you're doing with that, okay? Stay on the journey. Congratulations. Also celebrating this April, the graduates from our Jesus Journey course that we just completed.
Yes.
Was that hot as fire?
Oh my goodness, the journey was just fantastic.
Hot as fish grease, really. It was good stuff. It was a phenomenal class. Again, Rev E and I team taught that course, really following Jesus from birth all the way up to his resurrection that we are celebrating this very day. And we took a deep dive in that course.
We really did. And it was such a good dive that people wanted, and you made an announcement.
We're going to have a 2.0. We're going to have Jesus Journey 2.0, so look out for that later in the fall. But I was so happy to see so many of the leadership of Unity of Sacramento present. Many of your Unity of Sacramento Board of Trustees participated in this class, so you know that gives us a high consciousness, a high leadership consciousness at Unity of Sacramento. Again, congratulations to all of our Jesus Journey graduates. They are ready.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Thank you so much for all that you brought on the journey as well.
It was rich. It was rich. And amidst all of the celebration that's taking place during this resurrection period, we also want to make sure that you have access to our community resource folder, which is in your Unity of Sacramento app. You can get your Unity of Sacramento app on iTunes or
Android.
And what is that? Google Play?
Google Play, yes.
So it's free. And in that app, we are constantly uploading new resources that will support you with staying safe, getting access to information, and sometimes even money. For example, we just loaded some information about a resource from FEMA that's helping families related to COVID-19. Tell them what that's about, Brother Rev.
Yes, FEMA is providing financial resources for families who may have funeral expenses due to COVID.
So jump into your Unity of Sacramento app. There's tons of information there about COVID preparedness and how to keep you safe and to just keep your families up to date on resources that can help you. And if you don't need it, maybe you know someone who does, and so send them. If you want to find one way to be a force for good right now, send them the Unity of Sacramento app or have them get it, because we've loaded it with resources to help people during this time.
Yes.
Cool. Last but not least, as you know, we are moving closer and closer to a state that is reducing its COVID-19 risk. That's what we're learning, that our state is inching toward that. And we want to talk to you and get a sense and feel about where you are with it. And so we are doing our Unity of Sacramento census. This Unity of Sacramento census is going to ask you a bunch of questions, but it's going to give us information that we're going to share with our Unity of Sacramento Reentry Committee. We're standing up a committee that's going to study when, where, what, how will we re-enter this Unity of Sacramento campus. And so we've got to collect a lot of data and information from you. Will you please partake of the Unity of Sacramento census? It's going to be in your Unity of Sacramento newsletter, so just watch that. It's going to help us a whole bunch to make sure that when we do return to this campus, we are ready for you. Better than ready for you,
Yes.
yeah?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And we're grateful for your patience and your diligence and your understanding of what it's taken to pivot during this critical time. Really love and appreciate you. And we miss you. We miss you. I miss you more than he does, but we miss you. And with that, let's go to church.
Breathing space. Today's word: answers. Our declaration: I ask better questions as I gain clarity about the answers I seek. I ask better questions as I gain clarity about the answers I seek. I ask better questions as I gain clarity about the answers I seek. The uncreative mind can spot wrong answers, but it takes a very creative mind to spot wrong questions. Anthony J. Many people spend much of their lives looking for answers. We all have experienced times when answers seem fleeting and difficult to find. But if answers are hard to come by, perhaps it is because we are searching in the wrong place or looking in the wrong direction. Spiritually speaking, answers occur through a corresponding partnership with questions. It is through the curious exploration and embrace of questions that information is obtained and answers are found. That being the case, if we haven't found the answer we are looking for, perhaps we have not asked the right question. Relax. Breathe. Become still, knowing that the answers you are in search of indeed exist. Pleasantly be with a question that corresponds with the answers you seek. Enjoy the mystery it presents. Be open to the universal aid that may come as an idea, an insight, an inkling, or a notion. What comes to you may not be the answer, but may lead to a better question. Good questions lead to great answers. And our reflection question: what question, if answered, would lead me to the discovery of my deepest desire and the fulfillment of my greatest dream? Let's take this question into the silence. And so it is. Amen and amen. And remember to breathe.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the highway, skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane, just a step beyond the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that we dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, way above the chimney top. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, then oh why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, way above the chimney top. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I?
Good morning, Unity of Sacramento Dreamers. How are you this morning? It's good to be back with you this morning. I've been over the rainbow. And I want to give a great acknowledgement to our senior associate minister who has held it down with our Dream series in our absence, Reverend Eric Donaldson. For those of you who may be joining us for the first time or have not been present, we have been involved in a series of lessons called the Dream Series. And what I loved about Reverend Donaldson's message last week is that he emphasized the importance for us to dream the bigger dream. Some of us say, well, Rev Kev, everything I've ever desired, I've manifested in the material. Well, I've got news for you. There's a bigger dream for a world that works for all. Would that be all right? And so if you haven't found your lane into this series of lessons, just know that we need your consciousness and your participation in envisioning and standing for such a world of peace, prosperity, and unconditional love for all. And part of my absence recently was involving me joining with faith leaders from different backgrounds, Muslims and Christians and Hindus and Buddhists and Universal Unitarians and others, going to the U.S.-Mexico border and taking our values of inclusion and love and a world that works for all and saying, we don't put babies in cages in our name, and we don't separate families from one another in our name. And we were involved in a very powerful act of civil disobedience where we visited, about 1,000 of us, upon a detention center, Core Civic, which is really a prison, where we actually experienced the sounds of the families as we were chanting and cheering and letting them know that we were there for them. We heard them screaming and, responding to us as we were there, and we felt our cause was just and right, and we helped to raise attention on this matter because it is a practice that is not new to our country, but it's a practice whose time is up. Yes? Yes. I also participated in the Unity Worldwide Ministries Convention, and what I was happy to hear as I moved throughout the convention, people giving us feedback saying, we love what you're doing in Sacramento, Rev Cav. We see you guys on Facebook and really love what you're doing. And many people asking about what's happening in Sacramento and how they can support us. And so I was very happy about that. And then our Association for Global New Thought, I'm on the Executive Leadership Council for this organization. And what we do is we go around as a collective. The entire Leadership Council goes around as a collective rallying with these messages of inclusion and a world that works for all. And we were privileged to serve together at the Bodhi Center for Spiritual Living in Chicago. And so I want you to know that the world is waking up, and you have permission this morning to be woke and stay woke. Tell somebody, be woke and stay woke. Go ahead and tell them, be woke and stay woke. That's what we're up to. But we're going to bring this dream series this morning to a close. And the way we're going to do it is with Ask the Rev. And so you should have received when you came in a slip of paper so that you can jot down your question that you may have for me related to your own dream journey, your own spiritual journey, some questions that you may have that will support you in moving to your next level. And so you want to take a moment and jot it down and send them to the center aisles. I'm going to have the ushers come to the center aisles with baskets. Think about where you are in your journey. Think about what you require that will support you with breaking through, that will support you with having an insight, that will support you with, at long last, moving off of your blessed affirmations. Sometimes we're just sitting on our big fat affirmations. I want you to get beyond sitting on your big fat affirmations and standing up and moving forward. And so this experience, my wife is going, oh my God, honey, it's all PG today. This experience with me will allow me to try to support you and perhaps give you something very specific for you that will urge you. And we believe that your questions will be general enough to serve everybody. And I'll respond in that fashion. So if they are ready, let's start bringing them down. We're going to get it moving. I'll start with that first one. Oh, we got two. You all ready? This could also be called, now if I can't read your handwriting, just know that you won't get an answer. How do I discover my purpose on this planet? I know I have a gift. I have no idea when, where, or how to use it to its full potential. Ooh, that's a great one. Because in pursuing a dream, it's also important that you are moving in such a way that you feel that you have something bigger that you're striving for with your life. Is that right? Sometimes it gets a little, after you get the car and the house and the husband and the wife and the dog and the cat and the white picket fence and the vacation, it can feel a little flat and empty, yes? Because you and I were meant and sent here to, are you ready? To be an expression of God. Come on, say, I am here to be an expression of God. Come on, like you mean it. I am here to be an expression of God. And so we are in the express business. Point to yourself and say, I am in the express business. Our purpose is to express God according to our own understanding. And so my question back to you is, what is your understanding of God? What is your understanding of God? God is love. God is life. God is wisdom. God is power. God is substance. I want to kind of have an understanding of God. And when I have this understanding, I can understand how to express God. Now, here are some clues. Here are some clues. Your gifts, your talents, your skills, your abilities give you clues and cues as to how to express God. So, for example, I am a gifted speaker. I was kind of born with this megaphone voice. And with a megaphone, I have some kind of responsibility to do something with it. Is that right? So you want to check in with the gifts that you have been given and see what they are, take inventory of what they are, and then partner it with your passion. What are you passionate about? That passion didn't come accidentally. Passion, if you look at the word, Passion really says pass I on. Can you see that? Come on, say it with me. Pass I. Got it? Come on. Pass. So you want to investigate your passion. Your passion is that thing that fires you up or that ticks you off. Sometimes when we see racism in the country, we get ticked off. And for me, when I see discrimination and unfairness, it makes me want to take a stand and use this megaphone to call right attention to strike down injustice. Have you got it? So you want to look at those two things. When you're not functioning in your passion, you're functioning in pain. P-A-I-N. That's another word in there. What are those pain points for you? And what would happen if you address those pain points in a fulfilling way? When you're not functioning in your passion, you are a pain in the ashen to others around you. But we're here to express God according to our best understanding of God. We bring our gifts, our talents, our skills, and our abilities to bear upon something, a cause greater than ourselves. And so find out what that is. Now, shameless plug, didn't intend to go here, but Rev Kev's book, The Designer Life, Distinctions for Living Life by Design and Not by Default, walks you through all of that in full. There should be some in the bookstore. All right. How do I let go of someone who has a negative effect on a family member from days past? How do I forgive and move forward? How do I let go of someone who has a negative effect? First of all, come to the point within yourself of determining whether you have learned all that you have come to learn from that individual. We are teachers to one another. And so you think you're getting rid of something, but if you haven't learned the lesson that individual has come to teach you, you will repeat the class. It just is a different person in a different suit of clothes. You understand what I'm talking about? Yes. So ask yourself, have I learned what this person has come to teach me? And if you have learned what this person has come to teach you, and if you have contributed what you have come to teach that individual, be willing to tell the truth quicker and faster. What did I say? Come on. Tell the truth quicker and faster. Jesus said it this way on the cross: it is finished. Come on, say it with me. It is finished. We have finished our work here. Don't be shy about saying that, lest you give up some of the precious moments and minutes and hours of your unrepeatable life. How many of us are wasting time that we cannot get back? Are you with me? Out of looking polite, but suffering within. Who knows what I'm talking about? Stop looking polite to folks who are trouncing on your dreams and trouncing on the life that you deserve. Are you hearing me this morning? Come on, tell them it's finished. It is finished. It's okay to say that. You might not look good, but you might feel a whole lot better. Some people are losing in life, but they look great. Do you know what I'm talking about? Is Unity Worldwide now known as Interfaith New Thought Organization, or still considered Christian New Thought? Thank you. Unity has always been anchored in what's called practical Christianity or a metaphysical Christian tradition. So we are Christian in that we follow the teachings and example of Jesus the Christ, and we interpret the sacred text from a metaphysical position, that we are not biblical literalists, but we are biblical metaphysicians, and we honor all paths. Have you got it? So we're not in the business of trying to condemn any other path. We actually welcome and open a direct discourse with all paths, because we believe ultimately that there is one presence, and that one presence is leading us all to the same common destiny. Yes? How do you know your thoughts are from spirit and not from your ego? Thoughts based in fear, EGO, edge God out. What did I say? Thoughts based in fear do what? Edge God out. Edge love out. Edge peace out. A fear-based thought or an egoic-based thought holds only space enough for you. Do you get that? I'll never forget, I was in college riding in the car with my buddy, and I was just on a roll about all the wonderful things that was going on in my life. And he's driving, and I'm in the passenger seat, and we had a long drive, and I'm just telling him all the great things. Da 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 da. He's picked me up from the airport, and I'm just yap 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 yap. And he turned around and says, "Kevin, it's all about you. We just woke up this morning to do things for you. The sun rose and the moon will set today because of you." He says, me, wonderful me. He just went on and on. So when you're functioning, and I'll never forget it, it was like a moment in my life. So when you're functioning from this place of ego, there's not enough room for you to even see those around you. Are you with me? Or the bigger picture. I know you don't believe that actually happened, but it did happen. How and where do I start my studies the Unity way? In a nutshell, I'd like for you to raise that question with Rev E, and he can give you a variety of paths. There are multiple paths of starting the Unity way, and now we have an even a wonderful online path that you can get started. So that would be one. And of course, take Unity 101 that's coming up. That'll get you started. But there are many paths. How do I know I am on the right path? Okay. It's interesting, that question, knowing that you're on the right path. Along the way, you will get confirmations. And the thought that there's this linear journey is erroneous. So let's start there. If you thought you're just taking the straight line from where you are to your destiny, then yes, you might at many times feel like you're on the wrong path. The right path may look like this. Come on, everybody, do it with me. Come on, who knows about the bumpy road? The right path is always providing you with the lessons that you need for your soul's growth and unfoldment. Have you got it? It's always helping you to adjust. And sometimes that path may be laden with pain. Anybody know about the path of pain? The path of pain is not a negative path. Sometimes the path of pain is there to give you the information that you need to make the necessary adjustments. But one of the ways to know that you are not in alignment with your highest good and greatest joy is if you constantly feel that you are settling for a life less than what deep down within you know you deserve. Are you hearing me? So I want you to just check in with yourself and ask yourself, in what areas in my life am I settling for less than my highest good and greatest joy? And your highest good and greatest joy is God's will for you. Say that with me. My highest good and greatest joy is God's will for me. Somebody say, well, what about my 75% highest? That's not the highest. I don't have a lot of money, but I do have time. I teach and I do service. I can do more. What does Rev Kev suggest to make the biggest difference? Ooh. You know, that's really an individual thing in terms of what would make the biggest difference. Howard Thurman said something, don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive and go and do that, because what the world needs are people who have come alive. And so I would suggest to you to check in to see what makes you come alive, and then race to devote the hours that you have available to be in service to that. Are you with me? No sense in dragging yourself to life because you're doing it to look good or out of burden, duty, and obligation. Have you ever seen one of those folks come with burden, duty, and obligation service? Well, the Reverend asks. So I signed up last. No. Find what makes you come alive. And rush to that. Because your enthusiasm is power. The word enthusiasm comes from the word in theos, or in God. In God. And so when you are enthusiastic about something, there's power there for you. When you're not enthusiastic about what it is you're doing, you drain energy from yourself and from those around you. Who knows about the energy drainers? The light bulb dimmers. If you're sitting next to one, just look straight ahead at me. The light's been flickering back there. I don't know. I'm afraid of letting myself down, giving up before it realizes. I'm not sure. I'm afraid of letting myself down. So I give up before I realize my dream. I imagine that's what you're saying. We really call this the fear of success. Not even the fear of failure, but the fear of success. So you may want to rephrase how you look at this, your life. What would it look like if, in fact, you were destined to succeed? How would you move through life? How would you show up to life? Because I say, if you act the way you want to be, soon you'll be the way you act. Say it with me in the first person. Come on. I act the way I want to be, and soon I'll be the way I act. So it's not about getting to some big place sometime, somewhere. Every day is the day for you to show up as the one who is entitled to the dream. Come on, point yourself and say, I'm qualified. Come on, I'm qualified. Tell yourself, I'm deputized. Tell yourself, I'm authorized to have this dream. Come on. And you show up to the best of your ability with that. You show up to life looking like it, feeling like it, acting like it, walking like it, talking like it. And if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, well, eventually life will say it's, come on, quack. So there may be this idea that I'm racing towards some big destination, but really life is about showing up every day as the one entitled to it. And then eventually what happens is you will have made enough of an impression upon the universal subconscious, and you just prick open universal escrow and it just start rolling in. You want to hear a funny story? Funny story, no kidding. This just happened. I don't have an assistant right now. And so part of the role of my assistant is to respond to some of my business correspondence. And so I was headed to our Unity Convention. Had not booked the ticket to the Unity Convention. And so because I hadn't booked the ticket to the Unity Convention yet, I was kind of working on the details with the staff back there to get it all handled, and got an email from someone saying, Rev Kev, are you coming? Are you going to be there? I'm like, am I going to be where? So I called the person and said, well, are you coming this Friday? You've been nominated for an award. I've been nominated for an award this Friday? Well, that's the day I'm supposed to go to the Unity Convention. I said, well, what time? What time is this affair supposed to be? So it was 11 o'clock. I said, oh, I was planning to leave at 4 o'clock. I said, well, I can get there for 11 o'clock to be present for this nomination that I received, and still have time to make it to the airport, right? So there was a pre-function at 11 and the banquet the brunch at 12. So I said, well, I'll make sure I'm good and packed. I won't go to the pre-function at 11. I'll be there prompt for 12, and then I'll leave at 2 o'clock and I'll get to the airport on time. So I get there at 12, and the pre-function had just completed. And what I didn't know was a part of the pre-function was for the nominees or the honorees. Now, at this point, I don't know that I'm anything more than a nominee. So I walk into the banquet rooms, about 500 people or so in this room, packed, and I look on the screen like this, and there is Rev Kev up there as big as life, and I'm not a nominee, I'm an honoree, and they're two being honored that day. Hello. I'm just saying, if you continue to show up for life, God will do the rest. God will add the increase. You'll walk in a room and the party was all for you. How are you hearing me this morning? It's like, who, me? Wild, almost didn't go to the thing. Almost didn't go. But God is orchestrating. God is orchestrating. While you're busy showing up, God is observing. And there's just a moment where you just prick open the veil, and it'll be all that you couldn't even have planned or imagined. Yes? Yes. Let me keep going here. Why is there a photographer here today? I don't know. I don't know. I just got back to town. They could be from Time Magazine. I don't know where they're from. What does it look like to... I really don't know. For G-Force 3. Okay, volunteering for our Great Faith, Great Foundation, Great Future campaign. Thank you, Jamelia. I didn't know what was going on. I needed some new earrings. I don't know if she arranged to get several angles, or I don't know what it was about. What does it look like to dream a bigger dream without becoming complacent about working to achieve that dream? For example, counteracting the claim that some problems are too big to solve. That's powerful. Take on Jesus' attitude about it. Of myself, I can do nothing. But because the Father works in me, then I do the work. The Father in me does the works. Have you got it? So there's this recognition that I am here to do my part. Come on, say it with me. I am here to do. We are engaged in a long-distance cross-country relay. And so some of the bigger issues that have to be solved for our society, we're running one leg in it. And eventually it's passed to the next generation and to the next generation until we move beyond that. I went to Kuala Lumpur. Is that Malaysia? Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And I thought I was 300 years into the future in terms of social progress. So, wow, this is everything that we talk about our country being, it was like being in it. That the problems they were having in Malaysia had nothing to do with the kinds of things that we struggle with here. Socially, they're on another page. Have you got it? So it gave me hope. It gave me hope just in visiting that country that we might be in a freshman in high school socially in the United States, where some have moved on to the PhD level in learning how to live together and love together and work together. And so we have still that opportunity to gain that, but we all have to do, come on, our part. Don't become complacent, because when you become complacent, you are saying that there is not a greater plan, there's not a greater divinity pulsing through the process. It didn't say with your personal will, all things are possible. It says, come on, with God, come on, all things are possible. And my timing may not be the divine timing, yes? I'm just here to play my part. But as Dr. Benjamin Elijah May says, strive to do what you do so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet unborn can do it any better. So what if when you played your part, you did your best? You brought your all. You gave everything you have to it. That's what we're called to do. And inside of that, you will have shined up your little corner of the world. So don't downsize your dream so that you can aim low and hit. It's all right to aim high and miss. At least your target will be out of this world. Yes? How do we plant that dream in our grandchildren? They already have it. It's mostly about subplanting our limited thinking from them. But they're free to dream. Our mindset often is to judge the dreams that they present to us. Because our own story tells us that this won't make them enough money, or it's not will not provide enough status in society and all. Do you know what I'm talking about? What if they came to bring us to another level, bring us here with a greater courage than we had? Hello. So no. They have dreams. They've got them. Let's clear the way so that they can experiment with the dream. It's not so much the particular dream anyway, but who they become in the process of pursuing it. Have you got it? Yeah. That's what we want to cultivate. So if the dream is to start their own business, if the dream is to go to college, whatever the dream is, give them the space and the encouragement so that they can practice becoming the person it takes to manifest any dream. Yes? We want to thank our television audience for watching and tuning in. You want to be here for our next exciting lesson series at Uni of Sacramento. Let's give them a great big hand. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. God bless you. All right, I'm going to read just a couple more of these. Rev, I get started and then I get stuck over and over. How can I get going again? Rev, I get started and I get stuck over and over. How can I get going again? Sounds like you are getting going again. You said, I get stuck over and over. So you are starting over, but you might be majoring in the minors, in the thick of thin things, focusing on that which does not provide you with any sense of fuel for the journey. So what if you've got your ladder leaning up against the wrong mountain? And there's no power for the climb because it's not the mountain that you need to be leaning on. Sometimes we have our goals be so astronomical and so off base that the universe won't give you the energy that you need to achieve because that's not where you belong. Tell somebody nearby, that may not be where you belong. Go ahead and tell somebody nearby that. The other thing I would suggest is surround yourself with people who are going somewhere. I think there's great benefit in having a mastermind team, a collection of individuals who are moving in a positive and powerful direction, who come to life with solutions, whose perspectives is not sullied by their past mistakes. Anybody have some past mistakes in here? The rest of you levitate right up off those seats. Come on, say, I am not my history. Come on. I am my potential. Right here and right now. And let's believe that about ourselves. But getting unstuck is about refocusing and reframing your perspective and positionality and your surroundings. Sometimes it's just the environment that you're in. I mean, if you wake up every morning in a bed of quicksand, you're going to have a slow start. Every day. How often? Every day. No, you're too proper. Every day. How can I tell if the revelations I receive are from spirit instead of my own mind? When it is from spirit, it is, again, for your highest good and your greatest joy. Together, those two together, your highest good and your greatest joy. It will serve a greater purpose when it is from spirit. It will not take from others when it is from spirit, but it will, come on, add to others when it's from spirit. When it's from spirit, it will stretch you into becoming more. Have you noticed that when it's from your own voice, it doesn't necessarily press you to take bigger steps? Sometimes when it's from that what Maria Nemeth calls that monkey chatter, when it's from that place, it paralyzes us because it's talking about what we can't do. When it's from spirit, it's talking about what's possible for you. In fact, sometimes it may even look too big. You mean me, God? You want me to do that? Because it's calling forth something in you that heretofore you may not have seen for yourself. I'm real happy today. Yesterday, Anita got a phone call saying, did you know you're on the front cover of the Sacramento Observer? And she may not have seen that for herself, but that didn't mean God didn't see it for her. Highest good, greatest joy. Yes? That's when God is speaking. I want a purpose in my life again, sincerely, husband died, I don't know what to do. I believe that, I see. I want a purpose. Okay. Did you all get that? So what I'm getting is that this person's husband passed, and since that time, this person feels without a purpose. So here's, first of all, our hearts go out to you, because that's not a easy place to be in, losing someone who has been with you throughout the journey. Sometimes we confuse our purpose with the roles that we play. You play a role, but that is not all that you are. You play role of mother. You play role of spouse. You play role of teacher and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Employee and employer. You get that? But you are not the role that you're playing. You are the soul who has suited up for these various roles. And when a role has completed its function, I go back to the sender that sent me here for my next assignment. Are you with me? Come on, say, Spirit, give me my next assignment. I'm reporting for duty. Have you got it? Don't be limited by the role that you play. Don't become spiritually typecast. How many of you love Cicely Tyson? You know, Cicely Tyson is a phenomenal actress, and there's one role that she has committed herself to playing, and I'm grateful that she's done this, but it has typecast her. You know what role she plays? Strong, powerful, African-American woman. Every single role. Is that right? Never the weak one. And I'm glad she chose that. But I just want to give you an example of what it might look like to be typecast. We haven't seen her yet play a superhero. What might that look like, Cicely Tyson and the Cake? You are a multi-dimensional being in a multi-dimensional universe. And so long as you and I are willing to go back to the source will continue to unfold the bright idea that you are in its mind. Say with me again, I am a bright idea in the mind of God. Ever unfolding, ever expanding, ever increasing, overflowing with good. I'm not limited by my life. I'm catapulted by life. I'm not drained by my life. I'm energized by my dreams. I am a bright idea in the mind of God. Let's take one last question. Let this be a goodie. Have you enjoyed these? How do I release the minutia, the details that feel like it's bogging me down from a higher call of duty that I've been called forth to do? Say yes. The minutia is the way you busy yourself from being about your Father's business. You've given it such a place of importance so that you can avoid the place that you've been called. Stop burying yourself in the paperwork. Stop hoarding and shopping online. Come on now, you got a garage full of minutia. You know what I'm talking about. Haven't even used it yet. But it's keeping you busy, but you're not living. And busyness does not necessarily mean that you are alive. You're just marking time. Recognize it's later than you think it is. It's later than you think it is to have your date with destiny. It's later than you think it is to make your mark. It's later than you think it is to leave your legacy. It's later than you think it is to have your name be known in the world for something great. Life is calling you. Redirect the meaning from the minutia to that journey in self-mastery that will open unto you a path for light that was meant for you. And God, having provided something better for us, that they should not be made perfect apart from us. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. It's your time to shine. I know that to be so. And so it is written, and so I've spoken it, and so you have heard it, and so it is. Amen and amen.
You are Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. You reign in glory, and you reign deep within. You're a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my pathway. You call me to walk upon the deep. You are the potter, I am the clay. I feel your power. You're the beginning and the end. Oh God, you reign in glory. Oh, and you reign deep within. God, we love you. Just right there, just lift your hands if you feel that power, if you experience that power. Oh God, we love you. We are your power, your transforming power, your delivering power, your healing power, your healing power. Come on, come on, come on. Omega. God is the beginning. Yes, yes. And God is the end. And He's so great. God is so great that He reigns in glory. But so personal and intimate that God reigns deep within. God, I feel your power.
We're so very grateful that you are joining us. And I know if you're anything like me or my team around here, you are soaking up the blessing of springtime. You know, I've given the entire team 14 days off to re-energize, regenerate, rejuvenate, and to recharge their spiritual batteries. And so I'm glad you're enjoying these classic sermons and shared experiences on our campus here. It's one of the ways that you are giving back to your Unity of Sacramento team by allowing them to reconnect themselves to their families and to people that matter to them, and just to do some very important self-care. But we've lovingly prepared these services with you in mind, and we still ask you to continue to support the work of Unity of Sacramento International Spiritual Center with your tithes, your love offerings, and your supporting gifts. And of course, by always inviting your friends and your family to be a part of everything that we have going on this campus. You can be sure that it's good spiritual food. It's going to do you well. Not only will it do your heart well, it'll do your spiritual waistline well too. You're going to grow up in here when you support Unity of Sacramento. And here's how you give to this ministry.
Visit our website at www.unityofsacramento.com. Right there at the top of the front page, you will see a donation button. Click there to visit our safe and secure push-pay portal. Another easy way to give is through our Unity of Sacramento app. Download the app on your smartphone or tablet, and on the front page, look toward the bottom of the page for your Giving Heart, which will also take you to our PushPay portal. You can also write us. Send your letters to Unity of Sacramento, 9249 Folsom Boulevard, Sacramento, California, 95826. So many people are shopping online, and if that's what you like to do, then support us through Amazon Smile. Visit smile.amazon.com and designate Unity of Sacramento as your charity of choice. You will automatically be making a contribution to our beloved community. And of course, you can always make your donation by using Venmo or Cash App, as seen on your screen.
So very grateful that you are choosing now to join so many others who are saying yes to being tithers to this ministry, who are giving 1/10 of what God has blessed them with of their resources in support of the work that takes place on this campus and throughout our city and the world. You know, we have someone who joins us every week from down in South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa. Hello. You're helping to send this ministry and this message even to the far edges of the earth with your generous support. Trust the Spirit of God that prompts you to give. Never ignore that prompting. That's your invitation to expand and to prosper in your life. God prospers you through your own generosity and giving. That's a little secret for you, some of you who need a breakthrough. Let's take a moment to bless your tithes, your love offerings, your recurring gifts to this ministry right now. Divine love in and through you blesses and multiplies all that you are, all that you have, all that you give, all that you receive from the storehouse of God. God's rich supply comes to, through, as, and for you right now. Thank you, God, so much for so much, and so it is. Amen and amen. Keep your eyes lifted up this week, because showers of blessings shall be on your path. I affirm that with high confidence, knowing that it's happening. It's already done. It's already unfolding in the mind of God. It's happening in your health. It's happening in your household, in your relationships. It's happening in your finances. It's happening for your career and in your future. The showers of blessings are already following you right now. Open your heart and receive it. As much as I don't want to, I'm going to let you have some fun and give me a little bit of break. But we'll be right back here next week to nurture your soul, to remind you that you are made in the spiritual image and likeness of God, surround you with spiritual community, and to challenge you to be a force for good in the world. So enjoy the spring, and we'll be back next week while you design a life of purpose, passion, peace, and prosperity. And do what? And be a force for good in the world. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Clap your hands like this.